dodging traffic, being chased by German spies.
I'm telling you, the less you know about this, the better. Now leave it be.
The Volpes followed us, but I don't think they realized we had the Muellers with us. Look, sir, I need information on another matter altogether. An operation codenamed White Rose. Yes, White Rose.
Hello. I'm Margot Claymore, wife of the First Secretary.
Oh, Jessica Fletcher, I'm delighted to meet you. I wish the circumstances were less unnerving.
Fanny says I better get used to this sort of thing.
My goodness, that's lovely. And good luck, too. What, all this paper? Oh, a friend gave it to me. Thank you.
It's a lovely one. Made by one of the Cameroon tribes in Africa. I'm from that region.
Margot.
I'm not overdressed, am I?
Don't be silly, darling. You look marvelous. Miss Greta Muller, her brother Franz, Mr. Andrew Wickham, my wife Margot.
Mr. Claymore, I demand to know what is going on here. And since my brother refuses to be confidential with me...
Miss Muller, I'm terribly sorry, but I really don't know...
You don't know? Two men burst into my dressing room during intermission, shoot one of my guards, force I and my brother at gunpoint into the trunk of a limousine.
Greta, I have told you that this was necessary.
Why? So you could defect? You, Franz, my loyal and patriotic brother.
No, what are you talking about? You're going to have to trust me.
I do not trust you. How can I?
I will try to talk to her. Excuse me.
Well, I really would like to make myself useful. Is anyone hungry?
Yes. That is, if it's no trouble.
Sorry if it turns into potluck, but I've been here since only this morning and I don't know my way about.
Can I help?
Oh, no, I'll be fine, thanks.
Guns, spies. Jessica, what the devil's going on around here?
I wish I knew.
Mr. Claymore, whatever this is about, neither Mrs. Fletcher nor myself are involved. May I presume we are free to go immediately?
You may not, Mr. Wickham. The situation's too dangerous. These Germans are trying to locate the Muellers. We can't let anyone leave. Not until the overseas situation has been resolved.
What overseas situation?
I'm not free to tell you that.
Excuse me, I suddenly feel the need to freshen up.
An overseas message has just been received in the code room. For my eyes only, Mr. Harvey. If it does concern you,
Oh, Jessica, spare me that look.
No, Michael, I will not. I deeply resent all this. And it's not just the danger you put us all in, but, Michael, you don't trust me.
All right. This is not, as you suspected, merely a defection. Franz Mueller has been working for the SIS for the past 3 years. Now, 3 years ago, the Volpes murdered his wife. She was an independent thinker, like yourself. They probably thought that she was a spy, so they arranged an automobile accident. Mueller pretended to believe that that was all that it was. But for the past 2 years, he has been romantically involved with various women highly placed in the East German government.
I see. And from them, he secured valuable information for the British.
Earlier today, one of those women, an intelligence agent named Ilse Steiner, disappeared. Several hours ago, she was seen walking into police headquarters in East Berlin. That's why Jack Kendall and I liberated Franz and his sister just before the interval at the concert hall.
Liberated at gunpoint with shots fired.
Lucky for us that the 1812 overture was played. Nobody heard them. Look, I am sorry, but until we're certain that Ilse Steiner hasn't betrayed Franz to the Volksfried side, we have to stay put. All of us.
Bad news, I'm afraid, Mr. McCall. London just intercepted a coded communique from Berlin. Colonel Brunner has been ordered to bring Franz Muller back to Germany to face charges of espionage.
Well, that's it then. Mr. Claymore, I suggest that you contact both the ambassador and the PM to arrange political asylum.
I think I should tell Greta. She should know.
If you see Jack Kendall, our driver, tell him to meet me in the courtroom.
Greta, look at you. That's cold. It's very chilly out here.
I hadn't noticed. I couldn't talk to Franz. I didn't know what to say. Oh, Mrs. Fletcher, I don't understand. He was always so patriotic.
Greta, he's going to need your help and your support now more than ever.
What's happened?
A woman that he's been seeing, she has betrayed him to the police. I know it's a lot for you to deal with all at once, but at least try to listen to his side. And even if you think he's wrong, he is your brother.
Yes, of course. You're right. Good Lord. What is that he holds?
It's a white rose.
Are you missing out on life because you're putting off neck or back surgery? Call Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery, to learn how a less than 1-inch incision can have you up and walking within a few hours of surgery, free from chronic back pain, and with no hospital stay and no lengthy recovery. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic conditions, call today for your MRI review.
There were times my boss would send me home because I was in excruciating pain. Going to Laser Spine Institute, I go in, I have the procedure, and walk out a changed person, good to go back to work. I can't tell you how much happier I am. It's changed my life completely.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-844-364-BACK for your MRI review.
Laser Spine Institute, a less than 1-inch incision, a lifetime of standing tall.
This is your home. You make the rules. There are no boundaries or style police. And at Wayfair, we think when you can explore anything, your possibilities are endless. So here's to the bold, the fearless, and the little explorers and...
have grasped a flower by accident and fallen. Just went upstairs to be alone.
The man's been hacked in, please. Everyone, inside. There's nothing we can do out here.
You bloody well bring the body inside. Let me have that. No.
Please, if you would just stay in here until we sort things out. What is it? What has happened?
He's dead. Murdered. By one of us, it is obvious. Do you see any person else here, Mr. Wickham?
Sure, seems completely sealed off, Sergeant Major. Even from his own. Yes, and then search the ground. I want armed sentries with everything. And Sergeant Major, you are to take orders from them. No one else. Is that quite clear? I'll join the others.
The weapon is out there. I can't find it.
Bloody hell.
Sorry, Mike. I didn't realize you were so close.
Close? Yes, that we were.
You couldn't have been more than a boy.
How old do you think I was when I started? He was perfect. Perfect with his banker's face. In our trade, Jessica, you don't wear a badge that says spy. Anonymity is what saves your skin. Being able to pass yourself off as a tradesman or...
Michael, what is white rose?
What?
He was holding a white rose. But a few minutes ago, I heard him on the telephone, very upset. He was asking someone for information about an operation called White Rose.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, and I don't think it was just coincidence. I think that he was trying to tell us something. By grasping for that rose, knowing that he was going to die, he was trying to identify the killer, White Rose. That's the name of one of your operations, isn't it?
It was. I wasn't involved personally, but I remember it. 9 years ago, Johannesburg, South Africa, a small group of agents was assigned to support an anti-apartheid activist called Benjamin Kumbasa. Jack was one of them.
Kumbasa. I remember he was killed.
Stabbed to death in a public square. His assassin escaped into the crowd before anyone knew what had happened. And he was never apprehended.
Excuse me, sir. The First Minister has requested that everyone remain together in the reception room.
That request does not extend to me, Sergeant Major.
I have my orders, sir.
When do you suppose the police will arrive?
I very much doubt that the police have been summoned, Mr. Wickham.
What?
This is embassy property, British soil. They have no jurisdiction here. Claymore's sticky about that sort of thing.
I thought you might want some tea.
Nein, danke schön.
Greta, I'm sorry. If there had been any way I could have told
Were you afraid I would betray you?
No. No, I just didn't want to endanger you.
But isn't that what you've done? Oh, maybe it's not the physical danger. But what will it be like for us now? Not only for me, but Mama and Papa. Was it also important to you that you could not once consider us?
Listen to me. They will give us both political asylum, I am sure.
No.
And soon we will be able to arrange for Mama and Papa.
Nein, don't you understand? I don't want asylum. I am not political. I am a musician.
And I will not be cooped up in that oversized parlor, Claymore. There's a killer loose.
Yes, we are searching the grounds.
For what? Your killer's one of us, you bloody fool.
Mr. McKelvey, I am operating under the direct orders of the ambassador, who will be reassured you. As soon as he is certain the Prime Minister is secure, we Meanwhile, as a British subject, you will conduct yourself...
Excuse me, Mr. Claymore, but I am not a British subject, and you are keeping me here against my will.
But of course, madam, you are a suspect in a murder investigation.
Forgive me, but if there is a murder investigation going on here, I'm not aware of it.
Then perhaps you could share with me what you know, or think you know, Mrs. Fletcher?
Well, that presents a problem, since you, like me, are also a suspect.
One, two. Then what do you suggest?
That you give us free movement within the embassy to investigate, beginning with access to the code room computer.
Well, Sergeant Major, whatever they may need.
Yes, sir.
Carry on. That, Mrs. Fletcher, is acceptable?
Yes, thank you. Oh, by the way, Mr. Claymore, I understand that your wife comes from Africa.
From Rhodesia, actually. Her father is a very successful tobacco farmer.
Is that where you met her?
No, I met her in London, actually, a couple of months ago. Surely you don't think my wife's involved in this?
Well, that remains to be seen, doesn't it? Well done, Mrs. Fletcher. And where did you get all that Africa business from?
Oh, we civilians have our ways. Now, Michael, while you check out White Rose, I want to take another look in Dr. Lynch's office.
Lynch? What for?
Well, as I remember, Benjamin Kumbasa was assassinated in 1976.
Mid-April.
Well, the certificate on the doctor's wall says that he graduated from the Transvaal Medical School in June of 76. Now, that may just be a coincidence.
Or maybe not. Yeah, you go ahead. I'll check out White Rose in the computer file.
Excuse me. The First Minister would like to see you both in his office.
Has there been any news?
I wouldn't know.
Sergeant Major,
Sir?
where are you keeping Mrs. Fletcher?
Sorry, sir. Just following orders. Excuse me.
She was asking about Rhodesia.
Why?
Well, I'm not sure. Something to do with Kendall's death, I think.
Henry, I didn't kill that man.
Of course you didn't, Margot. Just poking around. I just don't like it. Just chin up. Everything will be all right, darling. Sit down, please.
Oh, you scared the life out of me.
Ignoring the fact that you don't have a warrant. Found anything?
Yes. Jack Kendall wasn't killed by just a puncture wound. Take a look at the moons on his fingernails. Also his eyes.
Poison.
And fast-acting. A poisoned weapon. That sounds premeditated.
Or professional.
Which may mean that your friend was killed because he recognized the assassin.
Yes.
Michael, take a look at that photograph up on the wall there. Whatever Dr. Lynch may have been up to, he seemed to have been hobnobbing with those South African revolutionaries.
He also doesn't keep it much of a secret. Well, it does fit his SIS file.
Then you found something?
Nothing damning, Jessica. Lynch was active with the anti-apartheiders in Transvaal. He actually got himself thrown into jail several times.
But if he was a supporter of Benjamin Kumbasa, why would he have killed him? Margot Claymore.
Oh, yes, First Secretary's wife. Interesting. There is no file on her.
But the ambassador has assured me that every protection of Her Majesty's government will be extended to you and your sister. Provided, of course... Provided... What? Well, there has been a killing here, sir. It seems clear that one of us is responsible. Excuse me. Yes? One moment. Let's go to the room. Hear what he has to say. Yes, people all better listen. Connect him. The First Secretary Henry Claymore, may I help you?
Sir Claymore, this is Colonel Gerhard Brunner. I'm trying to locate Fräulein Greta Müller and her brother. I have reason to believe they are being held at your embassy.
Well, not to my knowledge, Colonel.
Pity. So the most urgent message for them. In the unlikely event that you should contact them, will you please inform them that their parents will be taken into custody?
Nein! No! You cannot do that! They have done nothing.
I'm very sorry. It was necessary precaution to ensure that both you and your brother return immediately to Berlin. If not, I'm very much afraid I cannot guarantee the consequences.
Attention homeowners. Quicken Loans has some very important information regarding the U.S. government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. We've told you about HARP in the past, and we're happy to report that nearly 3 million homeowners have already taken advantage of this fantastic money-saving program. But there are so many more of you who could be saving hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. Quicken Loans is here to help you save your money. Why Quicken Loans? The home loan experts at Quicken Loans fully understand the HARP guidelines. We'll work with you to understand your specific circumstances and strive to find the financial solution that's best for you. Then we'll guide you through each step of the mortgage refinance process to make sure that it's both simple and easy. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And for the second year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation in mortgage servicing. If you're not familiar with HARP, it's a U.S. government program designed specifically for homeowners who have little or no equity. A great feature of the HARP program is that most HARP refinance loans do not require an appraisal, and there are fewer income verification requirements. That makes it simpler, easier, and even faster. And even if you've been denied for a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that you now may be eligible. Give us a call and we'll give you a Quicken Loans mortgage review. And we'll do all we can to help you save money on your mortgage. It's simple and easy. So find out if you're eligible to take advantage of today's incredibly low interest rates and start saving money every month on your mortgage. Call Quicken Loans today or go to quickenloans.com for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze.
They line up by the thousands, each one suffering with a story that breaks.
Things are beginning to take shape, but certain pieces still don't make any sense. I have to talk to Margot Claymore. Do me a favor and double-check something for me in the computer file.
But I told you there is no file on Margot.
Oh, not Margot. Dr. Lynch.
Everything is under control, sir. We'll expect to see you within the hour.
A problem, Henry?
Well, in the interest of security, they've decided to put the PM on a plane back to London. They should be taking off momentarily.
Surely not because of what happened here.
They're just savage. Take no chances.
Oh, Henry, what are we going to do? Maybe we should tell the truth.
I think that might be a very good idea, Mrs. Claymore.
Mrs. Fletcher, my wife is involved in Mr. Kendall's death.
Well, perhaps not. But obviously, neither one of you have been telling the truth. About what? About Rhodesia? About your wife's background?
That is not an issue here.
I'm afraid it is when a murder has been committed.
Yes, you're right. It's all my fault, the lies.
Go.
Henry, a man's dead. We've got to start telling the truth. I am from Rhodesia, Mrs. Fletcher, many years ago. But my father was not a wealthy plantation owner. At least, we're not sure about that. My mother worked as a servant. She was very fair-skinned, but she had native African blood in her, as I do. One night she was raped by one of the Europeans. The foreman, the master's son, the master himself. She never said. When I was 3, my mother and I were sent off to London.
Mother told the truth before the marriage. I was surprised, naturally. But frankly, I didn't care.
But there was your career.
Yes. Just decided to keep up the pretense. After all, the truth was no one's business but our own.
Until tonight. Mrs. Fletcher, what has Rhodesia to do with Mr. Kendall's death?
10 years ago, a black rights leader was killed in Johannesburg. It's possible that that assassin is the same person who committed the murder tonight.
But I was nowhere near Johannesburg 10 years ago. I was working 7 days a week in my mother's shop.
I see.
Sorry, Mrs. Fletcher. 10 years ago, I was supposed to Hong Kong. And you can forget about Dr. Lynch as well, Jessica. As you suggested, I did a little digging into the good doctor's background, and he has himself a marvelous alibi. Following a peace march, he was in Pretoria jail the day Kambasi was stabbed. I'm afraid your theory about Jack recognizing the assassin's a bust. Well, you have to admit it was a bit far-fetched. I mean, what would a professional assassin be doing here at the embassy?
Unless here is not where he was supposed to be.
Arrogant fellow, that Claymore. May I have a word with the ambassador about him? Yeah, sounds it too. Should have returned by now.
He's on his way, Andrew. They just put the Prime Minister on a plane back to England.
Did they? Well, I thought the PM wasn't supposed to leave until Tuesday.
Just a safety precaution, Mr. Wiggum.
Andrew, I got worried about Jeffrey Phillips, so I called his home office in London to find out where he'd gone this weekend. They knew nothing about any emergency assignment to the West Coast. So we called the Washington police. 20 minutes ago, they broke into his apartment. They found Jeffrey in bed, strangled to death.
Really, Jessica?
Just move. I welcome a chance to use this.
I wonder who hired him.
Bunch of lunatics the same as